Hi, and welcome to the NBA Economy Show. This is Fritz. I know it's been a while, but we're gonna get back in the swing of things. We have some of the greatest playoff basketball we've seen in a while. Um, the Knicks have a 2-1 lead, but the lingering question s- people are still asking is Tibbs still on the hot seat? A lot of people expected this team to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, some have said Boston is a better team. Uh, and if the Knicks won any games in the series versus Boston, that would be enough to make Tibbs' job safe. I know this is a subjective topic. Because ultimately it's not what the fans think. It's ultimately Leon Rose making that decision, and ultimately he's doing it, at the behest of Dolan. So the fans could have a certain opinion, they could have very strong opinions, but ultimately it's Leon Rose's decision who stays and who leaves. This is his fifth. This is Tom Thibodeau's fifth season with the Knicks. He has a high in wins. We saw 51 wins, one more win than last year. We have different series of thoughts with fans. Some say to be fired, you have to put forth a bad record. And then some people think they don't like the style. And for that reason, that there should be a new coach. For one, am not a Thibodeau hater. There is a subset of um, Knick fans who just don't like Tom Thibodeau, and whatever Tom Thibodeau does is wrong, and that's not me. I think Tom Thibodeau has a lot of experience in the league. He has shown that he could raise the floor on some bad teams and get them to winning, but ultimately he hasn't. He hasn't brought forth a championship team, or even got up to that point where he's in the finals. Um, I don't think typically what you've done in the past um, means you're not going to do better in the future. But what we have seen, there are certain places Tom Thibodeau just isn't willing to go. There's uh, certain ways of coaching that he's comfortable with, and going outside of those norms, um, he he refrains from doing that unless he's forced to. That's been more my issue more than anything. Um, we we're hearing the words a new NBA with younger coaches. I don't think it's the age that's necessarily the issue, but trying new things. There is an old school type of coaching where the coach is the boss. The players kind of get in line with the coach, and that kind of how it goes. The new the new thinking is having a players coach, where the players have a lot more input than in the past, and the players can actually influence the coach. And I don't think Tom Thibodeau does that very well. Um, I kind of think where Tom Thibodeau is now, I kind of think of 2023 Budenholzer with the Milwaukee Bucks, where he kind of performed in a way that they kind of wanted to move on. But he won a championship. He won a championship um, when everything is on the line, and then they extended him. Um, Tibbs is not seeking an extension. He got his extension last year. But the Knicks have leveled up in talent every year. And this year, they added two big pieces, two pieces that are all-star quality pieces. You have Karl Towns, one of the best shooting big men of all time. You added Mikal Bridges and Iron Man, a borderline all-star two-way player. So when you added those two players, I think we all expected play to elevate. It just hasn't elevated to most people's satisfaction. I thought the defense would get better with Mikal. Mikal has been working hard. He hasn't been horrible defensively. But the shot making just hasn't been there. With Karl Towns, he started out the year out on fire. Some coaches have made adjustments, especially how they played Josh Hart, and that has affected him. So his play has kind of dwindled throughout the year. What I would have liked is the Knicks implemented a style in the beginning of the year, and it got better throughout the year, and that hasn't happened. Not only has that not happened, even though we were short at times, he could have tried a style that would have worked for the playoffs early, and just tweaked it as the year has gone along. And I probably would have been happy. There's just we knew that the Celtics were going to be kind of our arch nemesis, and we kind of been unprepared. Even though we have a 2-1 lead, we knew that 3-pointers would be important in this series. So I thought throughout the year we would have keyed in on shooting open 3-point shots, making 3-point shots, but that hasn't been the case. When we first started this Boston series, I did say Knicks in 6, but I did not think the Knicks are the better team. I do think that you don't need to be the better team to win a series, so that's why I did say Knicks in 6. But we have seen Boston has employed the strategy they had during the season, which was put up a lot of threes, trading threes for twos. That kind of bit them in the first 2 games. I think it was the right strategy for Boston, but they shot a record low percentage from 3-point land and shot the most, probably the most in history over a 2-game span. So basically, they live by the 3, they die by the 3. But the strategy was sound as long as they didn't shoot a record low. In Game 3, we see that the Knicks still didn't defend the 3 well. And the Celtics shot 50% from 3-point land. They didn't guard the 3-point line well, which has been an issue pretty much all season. And they were down 20 quickly and even more. They lost by 20, but that margin was a lot more than the 20 points in the final tally score. I think looking at the 2-1 record for the Knicks is kind of misleading. If the Knicks didn't have just great closers in the first 2 games, we could be looking at elimination in Game 4. I think a lot of people saw the initial 2 wins. I saw some people say Tom Thibodeau gets credit because basically he was the coach when we got the win. So if you have a win, that's good coaching. But we were down 20 basically in the first half of each game. Basically, we needed crazy effort from Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Carly Towns to get back into these games, and we scraped by with a 3-point win and a 1-point win. I really wasn't that impressed overall, because you have one horrible half, and then you have a pretty much a second half where you shut them out and they can't hit a shot. And I don't think it was us preventing them from hitting those shots. They were just missing. So I really haven't been impressed with this series. When we look at our previous series, when we played Detroit, Detroit was down bodies. Detroit didn't shoot well. An inexperienced team. They're more experienced players. We're middle of the road minimum players. So the Knicks really should have made short work of the Pistons. They did get by, but it wasn't impressive. I'm not going to grade Tom Thibodeau when the year's over. I'm not going to grade him on the playoffs alone. What I'm going to do, my personal, which doesn't mean anything, I'm going to take the entire year and say, what could we done better? Did he make the best of the situation? I don't think he has made the best of the situation. Our defense hasn't been great, but there is no reason with the lineup we have that we don't have a better offense. If Leon Rose thinks maybe he should have someone next to him to take over the offense, that's the solution. Another solution is to get another coach. It's going to be on Leon. But one thing, if Leon does bring Tom Thibodeau back, Leon Rose is risking his own job. Because basically he would be doubling down. He'll be doubling down. And if that doesn't work out, not only is the coach removed, but probably he is seeing the exit as well. That's kind of where I am with Tom Thibodeau. I honestly think if he gets to the Eastern Conference Finals, he's safe. I just think they're just that close in the front office that they would give him a chance. I'm not gonna just go off what I feel. I honestly think if he gets to the Eastern Conference Finals, he's safe. That doesn't mean that he can go into next season and have poor offense and poor defense, and then that they would let him survive the whole year to just see what he does in the playoffs again. I think if he got to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think he would be safe. I think they would let him begin the year, and if it starts the same again and this team doesn't look elite at anything, I think that would be the end of it, even with a good record. I hope everybody is going to be tuning into the game tonight, 7:30 game tonight. But before that, they have the NBA draft lottery. So you look up there. That's today. NBA draft lottery. That should be interesting. Be interesting to see if everybody who's on that list keeps their picks. First off, where Cooper Flag possibly will be going to. That's going to be very interesting. I do want to do a little video on that. I'll probably put that up a little later. But yeah, please tune in today. Game 4. Probably the most important game of the series. Could the Knicks go up 3-1? Basically, putting the backs against the wall for the Celtics, or could it be 2-2? Basically, both teams losing all their games at home, That would be interesting. And at that point, Boston would probably have the upper hand. I just want to thank people in the comments. Of course, Andios MYK. If you see his Instagram, please subscribe to his Instagram. Very very good stuff. Yes. Lawrence Tears. Thanks for chiming in. Mikel B. Of course. Mikel P. Love the comments. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully, if you could please like and subscribe, we're going to be coming with more content about all the NBA. Of course, I'm going to give you Knicks content, but I'm going to give you all types of NBA content. We have some things coming. We're going to be reviewing trades. There's a Bleacher Report trade I do want to review with the community, and hopefully I can get that up in the next few days. So again, please like, subscribe. The information here. I do have a Twitter. Fritz handles NBA Economy Show. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to donate anything, of course you can. But don't have to do anything more than like or ask me a question in the comments. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and that is NBA Economy Show for today, and I will see you soon.